doggone beat now. We're gonna call our very own.
Roger Bobb. Roger Bobb is a producer filmmaker who has roots in Guyana and grew up in London. His parents migrated to the UK and they eventually made their way to the United States. And Roger worked with Tyler Perry for a number of years, sort of Tyler Perry's sidekick. And then eventually he branched off and he started doing his own things. We had the privilege of meeting with Roger on the set of his new sitcom, Man and Wife. And that's now being shown on Bounce TV. You can check your local listings for that. Mr. Bobb, good to see you, sir.
Good to see you too.
So, Bobcat Films.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what Bobcat Films is,
Sure.
film and TV.
So Bobcat Films is a film and television production company located in Atlanta and Los Angeles. We're actually here at my Los Angeles studio. And it's a film and television production company that I created to basically create the type of content that I wanted to deliver.
You've worked with Tyler Perry for a number of years.
Yes.
Big heavyweight. How much did that prep you on your journey to Bobcat Films?
Working with Tyler Perry was an invaluable experience for me. I wouldn't be able to do what I do now if it wasn't for the experience that I had there. I worked there for 7 years as executive vice president. I produced House of Pain and Meet the Browns and 11 other films. And pretty much what it taught me was to, one, have confidence and faith in yourself and put your money where your mouth is. One thing about Tyler is that he's not afraid to spend his own money to make his dreams come true.
Right.
And just to stay true to yourself and to your passion. I mean, he's one of the hardest working. He's actually the second hardest working man I know next to me. So he's a testament that hard work and dedication will get you places, and I'm a living testament to that as well.
I read that you also worked with Woody Allen and Mike Nichols on your journey. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was a DGA trainee, and what that is, the Directors Guild of America. That's the union that governs motion pictures directors and assistant directors.
Right.
And so they have a great program called the Assistant Director Trainee Program. And if you're accepted into that program, you kind of learn the ins and outs of filmmaking as a DGA trainee, and that they're part of the assistant directing team. And I've worked on Celebrity with Woody Allen. I worked on Copland with James Mangold. I worked on Primary Colors with Mike Nichols. I worked on New York Undercover and NYPD Blue. It was really an invaluable experience because it basically, at that point, I really didn't have the experience of how the professionals did it.
Right.
And it really taught me how the big boys do it so that I can come and do this.
You're born to Guyanese parents.
Correct.
Caribbean heritage.
Correct.
How much does that inform you as a person, as an artist, as a storyteller?
Well, everything that I do and all the stories that I tell come from my place, and my place is where I was born, where I grew up. I was born in London. I grew up in Flatbush, Brooklyn, which is a predominantly Caribbean community. Both my parents are from South America, from Guyana, as you mentioned. And so basically all those experiences have shaped who I am as a person, and they've shaped how I tell stories. So, you'll never see someone from the Caribbean in a Roger Bobb play that doesn't have a true, authentic accent.
Good
so,
to know.
It's little things like that. I shot a film recently called Girlfriend's Getaway in Trinidad. And
Yes.
it was a great experience. And although there were other places where I could have shot it, I felt, I really felt that I couldn't tell a story. And, we have many Trinidadians in my family. There's no way I could have told that story anywhere else but in Trinidad. So,
Right.
It's things like that. It's my culture. It's where I'm from. It shapes my experiences. It shapes how I think and feel. Well, here's the thing. The thing is, the Caribbean, Nigeria has its Nollywood, but Nigeria is a country. Okay, but the Caribbean's not a country. So the Caribbean is made up of different countries and different islands. So it's really hard to say that this is what the Caribbean experience is like, only because, as you know, the culture that's in Jamaica is different from the culture that's in Barbados, which is different from the culture that's in Trinidad. So it's just important that each individual island, each individual country, each individual group of people just tell stories that's true to their reality. So I can't really say what Caribwood would look like, Caribwood would look like. But for example, let's use Trinidad, for example. It's important that Trinidadians tell stories that are specific and germane to Trinidad, and they shouldn't worry about what they're doing in Jamaica or Guyana or, anywhere else. It's just important. And what happens is the collective story as a whole then becomes, the Caribbean experience.
Here I am on the set of your new sitcom, Man and Wife, starring David and Tamla Mann. Describe for us the show.
So we're on the set of my sitcom called Man and Wife. It's starring I call them the first couple of gospel, David and Tamla Mann. I worked with them before in Meet the Browns. We did 140 episodes for TBS, as well as Meet the Browns, the television movie, and they're really good friends of mine. And it's interesting. What I do is, when I'm working on one particular show, what I do on the weekends is I shoot a pilot for the next show that I want to do. So I was working on the Ricky Smiley show, which I was shooting for TV1, and on the weekend I brought David and Tamla in, and we actually shot a pilot. And a pilot is basically the first test show of a sitcom, so that when I go to the networks, I can say, well, hey, it's not just a matter of me articulating what it's going to look like. I can actually show them, this is what it looks like, this is what the characters are, this is what the cast is, this is how they act, this is how they interact together. So I did that, and I was fortunate enough to sell the show to Bounce, and that's the network that will be carrying the show. And so Man and Wife is loosely based on their real life. It's about a blended family. In the sitcom, he's a police officer with 2 boys, and she is a school teacher with 2 girls, and they've come together and they got married and they moved into this big house, and so it's kind of like a Black Brady Bunch.
He's one of our most prolific Caribbean producer filmmakers right now. Girlfriend's Getaway is actually in production right now in Puerto Rico. There's a sequel that's being produced at this very moment. So Roger is definitely one to look out for.
And we're actually doing a sequel to Girlfriend's Getaway. Girlfriend's Getaway 2, yes. We don't know where we're going to shoot it yet, but
there's a rumor that you're going to shoot somewhere in the Bahamas this year. A quiet rumor.
Yes, that is correct. That's correct. So that's Girlfriend's Getaway 2. We just don't know where we're going to shoot it yet. So we'll see.
All right.